So let's see. This is Nevada. Let's see what happens.
Laws of the state of Nevada. This court.
This is Deobra Redden, who's facing charges for attempted battery in Nevada. 30-year-old Redden was arrested after he allegedly attacked a man with a baseball bat. He pleaded guilty and faced a possible sentence of 1 to 4 years in prison. At his sentencing, Redden had a calm and matter-of-fact exchange with Clark County District Judge Mary Kay Holthus.
Based on my criminal history, like I feel that like I shouldn't be like sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history? Have you looked at your criminal history?
I've actually just I looked at it.
I mean, you lived it, I suppose.
I just looked at it.
Yeah.
Dude, this isn't your first time. Of course you deserve to go there. In fact, you should go there, spend 10, 20 years, and not be let the fuck out because the rest of society shouldn't have to deal with you. Like, we shouldn't have to deal with this bullshit. Your rights don't supersede ours. We are the majority. You're the minority. Bye.
Judge Holthus then reminded Redden of his criminal history.
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
Yeah, I just figured like
battery on a protected person, robberies, attempt home invasion.
Redden, who struggled with mental health issues like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, tried to convince the judge that he deserved a second chance.
I feel like I shouldn't be sent to prison, but if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. But I figured that, if I'm in a better place in my life, I'm not doing drugs, I'm not out there committing crimes now, and I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place than I was.
But Judge Holthus was having none of it.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history.
This is when things got crazy.
Oh my God. Dude, he
Redden
got her.
launched over the courtroom bench and headed straight for Judge
Holy
Holthus.
shit, look at that vertical jump. Damn. If he didn't have mental issues, he could have done the NBA or, the
Eventually,
catch was good.
deputies were able to restrain him. As alarms went off in the courtroom,
No one tased
people
him?
started to call for help.
No one have a taser?
That's affirmative. Medical is requested. Judge's chambers.
Yeah, be advised. 515's got a big laceration to his head. Judge hit her head into the wall, and I got an inmate that's bleeding up here.
It's going to be a positive transport to UMC for a marshal.
Be advised, I'm also going to need a biohazard cleanup for a lot of blood on the floor.
It was later found that Redden allegedly punched Judge Holthus and pulled out parts of her hair. One marshal had to be hospitalized and needed 25 stitches after suffering a forehead injury, as well as a dislocated shoulder. A few days later...
Wait, but this guy wants you to be lenient on him. Okay, got it. Be lenient on me, Judge, be lenient on me. I swear I'll be good. 3 seconds later goes to tackle her. That makes sense. Well, now she's not going to be lenient.
Redden was seen in court again, heavily shackled and wearing a spit mask for the sentencing of his initial assault case.
Good morning. All right, this is on for the continuation of Mr. Redden's sentencing. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by...
I was going to say, isn't she supposed to recuse herself after that? But, I guess she had already written the sentencing down. She was just, reading it at that point.
...defendant's actions. All right, that being said, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you, in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, and $250 indigent defense fee, 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections.
Additionally, he faced 13 new charges for the attack on Judge Holthus, including attempted murder, battery, and extortion by threat. If convicted, Redden could spend decades in prison. Deobra Redden is a prime example of a convict acting crazy in court.
pretty sure he's going to end up spending, or he's probably going to be found guilty. That's pretty obvious. Don't know about the attempted murder, but obviously assault. Shit.
Antics in court. How does it compare to spitting on a judge? Like in the case of 30-year-old Bass Webb, who's in
So,
court
what is
on
with people
attempted
spitting?
murder charges. CCTV footage outside a Kentucky jail showed Webb, a former inmate who spent 3 months there on assault charges, intentionally hitting 2 prison workers with his car.
What?
One guy managed to dodge it, the other was not so lucky. Webb was arrested and produced in court before Judge Vanessa Dixon.
This dude's crazy. He tried to run over people. You already released from the jail.
Yes.
Since she knew the 2 jail employees beforehand, Judge Dixon decided to recuse herself from the case.
There's no way I'm going to try this case or have any further proceedings, or I have to see you for one further second.
But what Webb did next shocked the whole courtroom.
Set preliminary hearing for next week.
Webb literally spat on Judge Dixon, clearly taking her by surprise.
Charge me.
After initially dismissing him, Judge Dixon brought Webb back, charged him, and threw him out of the courtroom. Nevertheless, this is not the end of Webb's defiance
hit
of
her
the
in the
law.
face,
While
too.
awaiting trial, Webb started a riot with other inmates. Inside,
Wait, Fayette County? What Fayette County? I mean, I realize there's like a Fayette County in just about every state in the South, but is he in Georgia? Is he in Alabama? Tennessee? Where?
the Fayette County Detention Center. Webb was shot with beanbag bullets and even hit in the neck with a pepper ball.
Oh,
In retaliation, Webb swung a metal telephone box at a corrections officer. He was charged again for his actions and sentenced to 15 years in prison.
dude, he needs just to stay there. We need to stop this 15, 20-year stuff. It's just, when you obviously have anger issues, it's never going to go away. You just need to stay in prison forever.
We'll accept the jury's recommendation of 5 years on count 1, enhanced to 15 years pursuant to the persistent felony offender first degree.
Additionally, Webb was convicted of attempting to murder the 2 jail employees and got an additional 37 years, facing a total of 52 years of prison time. During this time, new evidence came up linking Webb to the unsolved murder of his ex-girlfriend, Bria Runewitz.
Jesus Christ.
While incarcerated, Webb had bragged to a detective about murdering the 32-year-old. To escape the death penalty, Webb pleaded guilty and got an additional 50 years in prison. Now,
Okay, well, he's officially not getting out, but then again, watch. Depending on what state this is, you could definitely see it like, oh, he'll be up for parole in like 20 years. I mean, any Democrat state, they'll be like, yeah, no, he's done his time. I really don't. It doesn't give me a date, but I really hope to God that they just keep him in. And if it's a Fayette County, more than likely it's a southern state, so hopefully they use their fucking brain.
if that wasn't enough, 5 years later, another cold case came to haunt
What?
Webb. This time, he was charged with the murder of another ex-girlfriend.
All right, don't date this guy either. Don't date him. Don't be friends with him. Don't talk to him. Just no. Just put him in a padded box. Give him 2 meals a day. That's it.
Sabrina Vaughn. This time, Webb appeared in court with a sinister tattoo on his head. It had a murder hit list of all the people he intended to kill, including
Rat 1, 2, 3. All cops. God, that's a lot. The media. All prosecutors. All judges. I don't know what it says up here. Something like, oh no, it's just, and something else. I want to know what the and is there.
including all judges, all prosecutors, all cops, the media, 3 rats that had been crossed out, and many more.
Yeah, I'm just going to say right now, good luck on doing the all cops, all prosecutors, all judge, and the media. That's a lot of people.
Webb was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Are you fucking kidding me? 25 years, 2 murders, an attempted murder, well, 2 murders, 2 attempted murders, and then like, why? Why? Possibility of parole, 25 years? Who was that helping?
You have found the defendant guilty of the offense of intentional murder.
While Bass Webb's audacious acts in the courtroom shocked everyone, how does it compare?
I have to say, watching these is really messed up, and it makes you really realize that the legal system doesn't protect people. I mean, I'm watching murderers, and they're getting life, but how is it life in prison, but they can be eligible for parole after 25 years? Someone explain that. We want you to stay in prison for life, but you can get out. That's not life.
To elbowing your own lawyer, like in the case of Joseph Zeeler, a double murder suspect in Cape Coral, Florida. Back in May 1990, 11-year-old Robin Cornell and her babysitter Lisa Story were found assaulted and murdered at their home. The gruesome scene was discovered by Robin's mom, Jan Cornell, who called 911. The case went cold for over 2 decades, until Zeeler was arrested in 2016 for shooting and injuring his son. His DNA was collected and entered into the database, which matched the DNA evidence from the 1990 crime scene.
Now, Joseph Zeeler was actually arrested for another crime, and that's how detectives were able to get his fingerprints and DNA samples. His sample was put into a database called CODIS, and that database also stores unknown DNA samples, including those from the Cornell Story case. Now, when the system ran, that's when detectives got a hit linking Zeeler to this 26-year-old murder case.
Zeeler was further arrested and charged with capital murder. In court, prosecutors sought the death penalty.
The kind of factors which makes what the defendant did to Robin Cornell and Lisa Story so grave, so serious, that death is the appropriate recommendation, that death is the appropriate sentence.
Zeeler then took the stand.
You could also argue that depending on what state it is, and if that state had abolished the death penalty or become more lenient on it, that if he had been tried during the time of when they had found the murder, that he would have been charged and given the death penalty. So, yeah, this is just messed up, man. But watch. They'll give him like 50 years and he can get out in 20.
He initially denied knowing both the victims and Jan.
Do you know Jan Cornell?
No, I don't know Jan Cornell.
Do you know Lisa Story?
No.
Do you know Robin Cornell?
No.
But later said his DNA was at the crime scene because he and Jan were involved in intimate acts the night before the murders.
Wait, you didn't know her, but your DNA was there because you were intimate. Okay. That pans out. Yeah. Okay.
And what I believe happened is I slept with Jan Cornell and Leanne Deller, and they were just too much of a pig not to wash their sheets.
He even called the victim's mother a pig.
Your DNA would have still been there 5 months later.
Yes.
And that's because they're pigs and they don't wash their sheets,
exactly.
Right? Yeah. You know that?
Well, I assume that. Just like you're assuming that.
But just so the record's clear, when I said they're pigs and they wash their sheets, that's what you said.
Absolutely.
Zeeler then claimed that the prosecutor was framing him.
Well, the DNA witnesses, did you hear them say that they actually did retest NB32, that they actually took the sheet, recut another sample, and had another analyst do the same test? Did you hear that?
Yes.
So the retesting was done.
I believe FDLE is siding with the prosecution. Of course they're going to say that.
Eventually, the jury found Zeeler guilty of first-degree murder.
Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the charge. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder of Robin Cornell. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2 of the charge. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder of Lisa Story.
But what Zeeler did next left the whole courtroom stunned. At his sentencing, Zeeler appeared in handcuffs. First, he asked his attorney for a private discussion.
What's that?
As the attorney leaned in, Zeeler threw a cheap shot with his elbow.
Oh my
Thankfully,
God.
detectives quickly subdued him.
Probably have a black eye from that.
Relax. I'm calm.
Shirley, are you okay? I'm fine.
I am relaxed. I'm calm. Relax.
Meanwhile, the lawyer saw the funny side of the incident.
I used to box. I've taken a lot better shots than that.
After the dust settled, it was time for Zeeler to learn his fate.
The court's review of other capital cases has led the court to conclude that the death penalty would be a proportionate sentence in this case.
Good.
Therefore, the court concludes that under the laws of the state of Florida, the defendant has forfeited his right to live.
He was sentenced to the death penalty.
Good. You kill people, we kill you. It seems to be the only states that do that now are Texas and Florida.
Accordingly, it is ordered and adjudged that the defendant, Joseph Adam Zeeler, is hereby sentenced to death for the murder of Robin Cornell and the murder of Lisa Story.
While Joseph Zeeler's attack on his defense seemed premeditated,
What's unfortunate about that, though, is he's still going to sit on death row for like 30 years, and he might actually die a natural death. That's what's fucked up. Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.